Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to the Premier League Season 3. This is our grand final between Empire and Virtus.Pro. Empire going to be over from the dire side this time around, and VP going to be on the Radiant. Empire are now 2 matches up in this best of 5, though they did start with a 1 map advantage just from coming from the winner bracket. Well, what else is there to say? As always, I am just an unofficial caster for this match. TPL have been very, very kind in allowing me to cover these matches via Dota TV. So a reminder that the official caster is Triumph of Man, and you can find him over on the Premier League stream. Big shout outs to him. He's been doing a bit of a marathon cast as well tonight. So getting underway with the draft. Empire, pretty sneaky from them last game. VP drafted a really obvious defensive tri-lane, and Empire just outmaneuvered it. So VP choosing to ban out the Darkseid this time around. It's looking a little bit more standard from them. Again, last game they opted to ban out the Shadow Demon as their very first ban out, which should have forced the Undying through the pool a little bit for them. So they picked up Coddle Undying and then went from there. But offensive tri-lane didn't find any kills. They didn't really have the ability to redistribute their lanes into something else. So they were sort of stuck, and from there Empire really dismantled them. So VP, they're going to ban out the Batrider. They might choose to pick up the Wisp here unless Empire ban it out. Though I'm not sure if the VP Wisp is as formidable as the Empire Wisp. And looks like Empire, I guess, daring VP to do it. Otherwise, they're going to take it again. Frankly, they ban out the Bounty Hunter. The other big heroes, Undying, Coddle, Magnus, and Wisp, sort of in the pool right now. Nyx, still a very staple ban. But it's tough for VP. They're going to choose to pick up the Magnus, so they might just go for something really teamfight heavy, something slightly more defensive since they are on the Radiant side. And we've seen how strong double reverse polarity can be later on in the game. But VP obviously needs to get there, and Empire have been shutting out so many of their opponents just in the early game with their very early sort of aggressive style. So Empire pick themselves up a Keeper of the Light, and Undying is picked up by VP, so we'll see how this works out for them. They've been really heavily picking the Undying, but I'm not sure if they've really been finding it all that well, finding his strength all that much in the early game. And picking up the CK, it's a little bit of a deny in a pick, obviously, against Empire, but I think they might just go for the Nakes or something like that if they really want a carry to combo with the Wisp. I mean, CK is very, very strong with Magnus. The Empower is ridiculous on him. But at the same time, I think they're going to have a few problems. They've already drafted themselves 3 melee. So Empire can just ban ranged for the 3 bans that we've got coming up and not feel all that worried about it. If VP pick up more melee, then Empire can just lead themselves into an Enigma pickup. And I guess the one big problem for VP right now is that they haven't connected any aggression. They've tried to go aggro against Empire, but it just hasn't worked out. It either gets turned around, or they just don't find anyone like we saw in the last game. So Lifestealer is going to be picked up here by Empire, nothing all too surprising there, especially since he is a very natural combo with the Wisp and a pretty natural counter to the CK and the Magnus as well, though the reverse polarity does spell a few problems for him. So Empire choosing to ban out the Broodmother, I guess a little bit strange. I mean, had that been picked up, that would have been quad melee for VP, and they're already being punished for stacking up, especially with the Illuminate on the Keeper of the Light. So Shadow Demon going to be banned out by Empire. VP mid bans for them right now, trying to find a nice matchup on mid, but I think this is really trouble right now. Banning at the Nature's Prophet, Empire, maybe just another support ban, another range support, another defensive range support. It's going to be the Disruptor. Someone who can be a thorn in the side of the Wisp. And VP, are they picking to ban right now? I'm just not feeling it. I mean, Enigma could have been a good pick against them, but for them, it's a little bit greedy. I mean, Empire have shown that they punish teams for not having mobile heroes, for not being able to respond to their ganks, and I mean, VP can't even really punish Empire out of the gate. Enigma doesn't have early game, Chaos Knight sort of does, Undying obviously has very strong early, and Magnus isn't bad, but they lack setup. I mean, CK can provide a little bit of his own, but after that, where's the lockdown? They need the Malphite stun to come online, and that doesn't really get strong until you get up to level 3, 4, 5. And Undying without lockdown can't get the decay, can't get those hits off. And especially against heroes like the Wisp and the Lifestealer. I mean, they've got pretty good mobility, and in the case of the Lifestealer, pretty good survivability as well. In terms of lanes, not sure what we're going to be seeing from VP. They might just be huddling up a little bit in that Radiant parallelogram, I suppose, but Enigma just jungling and then Magnus heading towards mid. It does mean that they've always got heroes ready to react to anything, but I mentioned it as a possibility for Empire last game, but they didn't even need to do it. They were able to get full farm up on Chen, full farm up on Darkseer, and then full farm up on every other lane. So Empire are going to pick up a puck, so that's probably going to be their mid. Probably just a defensive tri lane for them, and then they just need an offlaner. Puck could be on that offlane, though it's not very strong as far as offlaners go. But, I mean, there's not that much kill potential on VP either. I mean, if Puck gets chain stun, if there's a lucky 4-second stun, then it spells trouble. But aside from that, looking pretty survivable right now against everything that VP really have to throw at it. And we'll see if Empire go for maybe a really blatant counter pick to the Enigma as their last pickup, maybe something like the Nakes, something like the Beastmaster. I'm not sure why I said Nakes. I've got Nakes on the brain. He's right in the middle of the screen. But Beastmaster wouldn't be a bad pickup. It fits into their lanes, and even the knockback on the Roar is pretty good when you've got a whole bunch of melee heroes grouping up like VP are going to be doing with the Magnus, the Undying, and the CK. And what? Okay, so VP pick up Zeus. Why? I can't really fathom, but it might work. We'll see. So Zeus is probably going to be their mid. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So Empire, what are you going to go for? What's going to be your last pick? I think Beastmaster's a pretty natural choice. I would have called Brewmaster before, but now the Black Hole catches the Pandas, so he's not a very natural counter. And they've already got supports. They can afford to pick up someone who needs a little bit of farm. So what's it going to be? And Blue falling asleep. Oh, hey, Yibri. You're still awake. Clinks is going to be the pickup here from Empire, so maybe a little bit of fan service. Funnick on that Clink. So Funnick on the Wisp. Okay, so who the heck is playing Clinks? Okay, so it's going to be a Scandal Clinks. So, getting into the game. Over on Empire, we're going to have Go Black on the Keeper of Light, Blow Your Brain is going to be on the Lifestealer, Funnick on the Wisp, Silent is on the Puck, and Scandal is on the Clinks. So we've got a bit of a mix around, but Funnick is playing the Wisp again, so always nice to see. And again, his synergy with Blow Your Brain is just absolutely ridiculous. Over on VP, we've got Santa on the Undying, KSI is going to be on the Enigma, Airman is going to be on the Chaos Knight, Crazy or TA Me My Wild, Tame My Wild is going to be on the Magnus, and NS is going to be playing the Zeus. And did they swap heroes? No, Scandal is still on Clinks. So, VP super aggressive smoke gank right now. This is the most ridiculous path that you can take. It's not safe. You could be walking straight into 5, but they do not care, and they're heading right up behind Go Black. Can they find the stun? Airman gets in range, but it's only 1 second, obviously. The bonus move speed trying to get Empire out. There's the nuke flying through as well, but Keeper of the Light, just too much of a speedster with that bonus, well, with the base move speed and the bonus move speed from the tether. We've got a block ward going down by VP, so that blocks off this camp, though. The one disadvantage is that it's so easy to de-ward the dire pull, and immediately it goes down. So Funnick going to be spotting that one out. Interesting to see that they didn't even try and put it in the trees and force Empire to use a Tango to get their hands on it. They actually wanted whatever meager vision it provided. So NS spots at a regen rune. That's our Zerman rune there. We've got a board blocking out to pull down on bot, but Empire a little bit sneakier about it. It is going to be an offlane puck played by Silent. It's a solo mid Clinks played by Scandal. He's been pooled regen, so that's where all of Go Black's gold has gone. And Funnick throwing up an Observer Ward on the high ground. VP running Zeus. It's a bit weird. It's not bad against Puck, because you can use his ultimate to cancel the initiation from the blink and then coil, blink and then silence. So it's a pretty good choice, but it's a niche pickup for sure. Santa's going to be this off-lane dirge. This isn't that weird, but he needs to be careful. It's not as strong as it used to be, especially with the change to the decay. Well, they fixed the decay, I suppose, that he doesn't get as much healing out of it as he used to. Yeah, it was nerfed slightly, so needs to be slightly more careful. And Empire do actually have a lane that can just turn around and right-click down the tombstone, in all honesty. So Funnick off to the side, looking to run some pulls. He gets a double stack of Mud Golems. Though since he's just pulling, he doesn't really care. I've got KSI starting off in the jungle, and he needs to be maximizing efficiency here. He needs to get as much farm out as he possibly can. And I think it could be trouble. I mean, Magnus isn't going to win mid against a Clink. There's just too much harassment. He's already down at half HP. He's picked up 3 last hits, and Scandal 6 for 2 right now. Silence getting farmed down on bot. NS chasing through, but now he's going to try and man up, and he's losing in terms of this right-click battle. Straight out. I mean, it's a 10 damage difference. NS is almost dead. And the illusory orb through. Nice jaunt. First blood actually drawn by Airman just in time. But Silent could have just used the orb to try and escape, frankly. So he actually manned up a little bit there. Wasn't level 2, so he didn't have phase shift, though. So it was only the orb. That was all he had. So gambled a little bit, and he lost, but it's 1-for-1 the trade. Not the biggest deal in the world. KSI still just farming up. We've got the 2-minute urn bottled up by Crazy, so that's a double damage for him. So Shockwave Span going to be getting him back into this lane at least a little bit, but Santa's not finding all that much farm, and Silent, I mean, with only 2 heroes down on bot, he's actually manning up right now. And yep, there's always an enigma for a black hole. Chad is 100% right. So DD pops, but Scandal just continues to harass with the flaming arrows, though. Crazy manning up a little bit, goes for the skewer. Can he get one more right click? Yes, he can. Nice kill picked up by Crazy there. And double damage, I guess a little bit underestimated by Scandal. Very well played by Crazy. And I mean, that's fantastic. And that gets him back up in terms of farm on mid, and now he's pretty much got a level. Well, not a level on Scandal, but he brings it back to even with that kill. So well played by him. Santa's in trouble on top. He throws down the tombstone. He might die, and I don't think the zombies are going to be able to kill off anyone. Though Empire do actually back off. The tombstone fades. So Santa makes his escape, but he's now out of regen. He's got a stout shield and 3 branches, and that's 100% hit. So all he can do is try and find a little bit of farm underneath the tower right now. Goblack just barely missing the Illuminate, but maybe a bit of mercy towards Santa there. He could have just thrown it straight down the lane and been sure that he would have hit him. And we've got pulls running from Empire right now. They've stacked up this camp, and a nicely executed pull by Funnick there. So Santa can't really come and interrupt this. He's not a hero that can spam from range to try and pick these up either. So this is even more XP in the hands of Empire. And just being really efficient with the map right now, which has been a theme of their games. They aren't actually leading in terms of XP right now, since Enigma is a true jungler and they're only running 2 pulls up on top, but still helping to mitigate that difference. And Silent's going to be stunned up down on bot. 2-second stun. Actually an easy kill picked up, but NS grabbing that one. I think Airmine might have been able to snag it, but NS with the kill secure. And another rune in the hands of Crazy, so Illusion going his way. He does have the advantage in terms of the lane control, especially just with the Shockwave Span. There's not a whole lot that Scandal can do to push things out. He's got his Aquila picked up, but actually keeping it off right now, so the wave is pushing heavily into him. And below, what's the build going to be? It's actually just a Hand of Midas picked up for him. And we'll see how it works out. It worked out fantastically for him previously, and Empire is sort of running duo carry right now, which puts the onus on VP to try and make something happen. They need to try and make something happen before the Undying sort of falls off a cliff in terms of effectiveness. And speaking of falling off a cliff, he's going to be open wounds. There's the tether stun. The Spirit's doing some good damage. Chance is just trying to juke around the tombstone as best he can to try and get some damage down. And the decay is going to be off cooldown in just a second. He's actually pretty tanky, and he's rolling lucky on these blocks. He survives. Oh no, the Illuminate, wow. Okay, so Illuminate finishes him off in the end, but he almost made it. He almost made it to safety, and I think Empire probably just turned around and farmed up his tombstone as well. So Coddle Blast. MVP right now. Airman doesn't actually have enough for a combo. He's only got Reality Rift, and now diving underneath the tower. He's in trouble. One more tower hit and a few auto attacks could spell his doom. And Silent also had the winning Rift. So Puck, you need to be careful that you don't get baited into a bad situation, especially against a Puck, because things can always be sort of turned on their head. And center ward thrown down there, and it's coming in. Not sure if Scandal would have actually spotted that one out. And they've got the reverse polarity up, so they're looking for this kill, but Scandal spots everyone, and he just backs straight off. Go Black stacking up the neutrals a little bit. This is helping them stay on top of the bonus XP that's being provided by the Enigma, and as you can see, it's pretty much dead even right now. So doing well, and the Keeper of the Light, I guess a little bit of a jungler in his own right. Silence in trouble, the reverse polarity pops just for him. KSI's up on the high ground, but actually grabs that with this Eidolon. So nice little kill there, and look, did he manage to grab the regen? Yes. So Silent went down for the regen. They didn't actually have vision of what was down here, they just knew that the rune was here. And what was actually waiting for him was crazy. So unfortunate for him. VP now lead by 2 kills. Santa has a little bit of space up on top, since Goblack's actually just been running around the map trying to counter pushes, which is nice from VP right now. They're putting the pressure on, and it's actually working out in their favor. Nuke comes through. Airman dodges out of the way, keeps his clarity alive for just the last few seconds. The phase shift already used, and a 4-second stun. There is no hope for Silent right there. He is gone. That is a very easy kill for VP to pick up. And unfortunately, Silent doesn't have, as the Puck, doesn't really have a recovery mechanism or anything like that. If he keeps dying, that's sort of his game. I mean, they might be able to go and give him some XP from one of these stacks, but that's about the extent of it. So maybe Empire, that's the forethought. That's what's waiting for Silent as that light at the end of the tunnel from this really difficult offlane that he's having. And Goblack now heading up, but farm actually working out fantastically right now for Empire. I mean, Blow Your Brain leading the chart right now, but net worth is actually in favor of Airman since he's got 2 kills and an assist to his name. But I'll just switch back to Last Snize, at least for a little bit longer. We'll switch over to net worth, maybe after we pass 10 minutes or after we see a tower fall. Since the denies do still give you a little bit of information about the state of the game right now. Quick check-in on mid Scandal. That's actually quite a few neutral creeps for him, so don't be fooled by the slightly inflated creep score. Crazy's actually doing a pretty good job, and now he's managed to pick himself up a haste. The reverse polarity is going to be off cooldown in just a second as well, and Funnick and Goblack taking all of those creeps, so nothing for Silent. If there's going to be any space for him, it's either going to be in teamfights or Empire managing to force heroes away up towards top lane. Though Airman pretty much scary enough to try and man up against the Puck. Puck doesn't really have the killing power, though 1v1 he does have the survivability advantage. So it's a bit of a moot lane. Santa's going to throw down the Tombstone, but he's already dropping low. Nice Sorab. In comes KSI. Solo Black Hole for Blow Your Brain. He's stuck right in the middle. That's full damage. And in comes Crazy. Relocate ready away, but Go Black now to target the reverse polarity. Just for him, he's got the skewer back into the Mallow of the stun, and now they can just camp out the Wisp. As well, so Funnick, he's in big trouble. He's going to tether himself away as quickly as he possibly can, but it's a double kill picked up by KSI. So a nice gank for VP. Now leading the map by 6. And Silent down on bot, getting a little bit of farm now since there's 4 heroes on top, but Empire, it's not really looking great for them, though Scandal is finding some space on mid. And this is sort of the problem with Empire. You're locking some heroes down, but other heroes are around the map finding farm. There's no silly reactionary TPs or anything like that coming from Silent and Scandal. They both appreciate that they need to get a little bit of farm up, and they both appreciate that in the state that they're currently in, they can't really look to fight. So it's a good decision by Empire to try and find some trades, but Scandal's going to be reality rifted in from the side, 3 seconds done, in tower range, no hope. Very easy pickup there. And VP find themselves a tier 1 tower on top, so continuing to extend their lead, and XP now over 2k in their favor, 3k gold the swing as well. And that's probably going to get a little bit further out as these kills and things start to update. So Silent just farming up a little bit down on bot. He's up to level 6, he's got the Dream Coil up. So his teamfight potential is starting to get up there. Blow, not doing all that badly in terms of farm. He's actually got phase boots and that Hand of Midas. So obviously the later this game goes, this Midas is really going to be paying for itself. Santa's the target, and he's dead. He's going to try and TP, but he's dead. So Blow Your Brain picking up that kill quite easily. We've got Crazy now heading towards mid. We've got the Illusions leading the charge. Scandal sitting right on top of his own sentry ward, just making sure that there's nothing spotting him out right now. And the timing on his Orchid is actually going to be pretty bad right now, given the levels of farm that he has. NS in trouble. The Tether Stun just barely connecting there from Funny. He was trying to TP home, but he's going to be killed off. So a double kill there for Silent, and they managed to kill off the Chaos Knight as well. So a nice little gank there. Empire with a nice turnaround. And again, you can't really keep them locked down. They find a small opportunity and they capitalize. And at the same time, that's farming space for Blow Your Brain. They've got heroes cycling in lane to lane, and whenever the pressure appears from VP in one, the other two lanes move in to grab that farm. Which is why the gold isn't as bad as it could possibly be. I mean, there's not even a tower picked up just yet from Empire, but as I say that, they grab the tier 1 on top. So, is that Adidas on the Empire banner? I'm looking at VP. Yeah, that is Adidas. Fair enough. Oh god, what am I doing? This is what I get for asked. This is what happens when I get asked to look at banners. Airman picks up a kill on Silent one more time on bot. And Blow now actually has his armlet finished up. So he had Phase and a Midas just a few minutes ago, and now already the armlet is farm is through the roof. Goblack's off on the side, playing it safe to try and hold on to this tier 1, but does manage to wipe out the creep wave.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Crazy now heading down. He's got the reverse polarity available, so he needs to try and use his. Goblack comes in, tries to grab the haste. He's still got the full duration left. Can Crazy find the skewer? He already used that to initiate, so Goblack, lucky rune for him, he's going to be able to escape. Had it been literally anything else, he was dead. So a very, very lucky pickup for him there. Santa now getting a little bit of recovery time in the jungle, but he's not getting through it all that quickly. So just trying to get those levels up. He does now have the maxed out Tombstone, so this is something that VP need to really try and make use of. When you pick the Undying, you need to use the Tombstone. It's by far his most powerful ability, and it's only relevant for a very small window during the mid game. Empire 5 heroes on mid. They are looking for something. They're looking for a team fight, and the reverse polarity was used to try and solo kill Goblack, so they know that that's down for 80 seconds, and they are straight going for this. There is the Blink Dagger now up on the Magnus, and that hasn't been revealed just yet, though it is now seen. And Blow gonna pop off the Rage. Silent just trying to throw down the Silence, but not actually connecting on anyone. So just harassment going back and forth right now. VP don't really want to take this team fight without the reverse polarity, though they do have the black hole up. So they've got 2 ultimates that they can cycle between to try and take these team fights, and it was a problem for them in some previous games. But I guess wising up a little bit, and they made it through the early game with having the Enigma, which really sort of paid off for them. Though XP pretty much dead even right now. And we've actually got Empire off in the Radiant. A little bit of pressure on this tier 1 on bot, but VP, they're still all just grouped up. And again, the nice thing about the Radiant side is that everything is a little bit more compact. It's a little bit easier to move between lanes. VP, they might send someone to defend the tier 2 on top if Empire try and push, but right now they only need to really deal with the objectives of the tier 1 on mid and the tier 1 on bot. I mean, just because the tier 2 on top isn't very valuable. It's a little bit of map control, but it's map control of basically nothing. It doesn't even provide any control over the Radiant Ancients. It's just potential gold for Empire, and I guess a potential to push into a tier 3. So it's not hugely valuable. And now VP going for group up and push of their own. They've got their reverse polarity available again, so that's the big trigger for this push. They want to use these ultimates because if you've got them and you're not using them, then they're not really paying off. I mean, the threat is there. Santa's going to throw down the ultimate, but he's already being bursted down by Blow. He's already dead. And now Crazy, not even able to get the reverse polarity off. A nice stun down into the low ground. Goblack dropping low. Airman on top of him, but Scandal right-clicking down the Enigma, the relocate. Coming through onto Airman, he is being converged in on all sides. And this is going to be a wipe in favor in favor of Empire. Airman trying to make his escape. Can Wisp get the tether move speed out? They don't even need it. There's the open wounds. And Airman is in big trouble. Looks like Blow Your Brain just trying to time that last hit. But Scandal actually just grabbing it up. So now it's only a 2-kill split for VP. And Zeus escaped. But, did he escape? Just barely. But, that was not a good team fight for VP. They weren't on the front foot. at all. I mean, Santa waited in, but they didn't find the reverse polarity. They still got the polarity and the hull, so they can still try and find a good team fight, but Empire just maybe being a little bit too chaotic. Good positioning as well, making sure that they don't have any heroes grouped up. We saw Scandal come across and around, looking to keep the Enigma away from the fight, so even if there had been a big reverse polarity on a few heroes, KSI wouldn't have been able to get into position for that stun. Looking for the polarity, connect onto KSI, now needs the black hole, and actually knocked back. That's actually a little bit helpful. He's up on the high ground, and Blow now skewered all the way back. One's already dead. Where has he gone? He infested up, trying to make his escape. There's a 2-second stun, and he will drop. So VP finding a team fight that they very much wanted, and Airman, not sure how he was even looking for that reverse looking for that reality rift, but it doesn't connect. So VP invest 2 big ultimates to find 2 big kills, and once Empire respawn, they can start to look to take some towers. I mean, Silence already down on bot, putting some split pressure on, and he is long gone, jaunting to the orb. So this is the advantage for Empire. They lost heroes because of the ultimates, but now the ultimates are down. I mean, Magnus is only a minute away, but the relocate is coming in on bot. Crazy is in big trouble, threatening to skewer away, skewering Silent back, but he's already dead. Holy crap, the Phantasm's going to work on Funnick there, and Silent trying to make his escape. It looks like he's going to be fine, but he doesn't actually make it over the trees, so Airman going to be able to pick up this kill with 1 more reality rift. So it's actually a 2-for-1, and the tower denied by Santa. So nice little play by him, and good actual, great little fight for VP. Interesting to see that Empire just didn't wait for Blow to respawn, though he didn't have the infest. So I guess that influenced the decision about the relocate. We're going to recall heading in towards the Roshan pit, and this is something that Empire do go for a lot. I mean, Clinks, once he gets his Orchid up and has the max death searing arrows, can basically solo Roshan. Just need some heroes to come in and help him tank it up a little bit. And the tether stun comes through. They're going to be fine to grab this one up. So Empire, even though the last 2 little skirmishes haven't really worked out in their favor, they do not have the Aegis up their sleeve. And it's only a 5-kill split, XP actually in their favor right now. And the same story for the gold. Quick check in on the towers. They've claimed all of the tier 1s, so they're still up 2 in terms of towers, though. I guess it's 1.5 with the tier 1 on bot being denied. So, Go Black, what's he heading towards? He's got some Tranquils, actually quite a bit of gold in the bank. Funnick not looking that bad. He's got some Arcanes and an Urge of Shadows. Pretty farmed right now on this Wisp, and much more farmed than the supports over on VP. So just maybe using their time a little bit more effectively. They did find, the 2 supports did find a lot of farm. Wisp and the Keeper of Light did find a lot of farm from the jungle, which only really the Enigma got over on VP. So that's really the discrepancy right now. But how is KSI using their farm? He's got a mech picked up. So doing pretty well there. Airman just going towards the BKB now, so no huge, well, nothing too surprising in his build. Chat that's actually doing okay, though he is getting bursted down fairly rapidly in these teamfights. And Empire just applying the split pressure right now. I mean, Scandal, if nobody comes with the next little bit, he's going to be picking up this tower, no problem. Still has the strafe available as well. And there's no TPs coming in. The relocate actually goes bot, so pay no attention to top. Airman drops low, he's on half. He's going to try and TP his way out, though the blinding light doesn't actually cancel that, so he escapes. But Santa drops, and his tombstone, 130 gold in the hands of Blow Your Brain there. But yeah, the knock from the blinding light doesn't actually cancel channeling abilities, which is weird, but you gotta live with it. So good play by Airman. He manages to make his escape. Now 900 gold away from his BKB. Crazy comes in towards top, but Scandal managed to grab the last hit on that tower. So even more farm in his hands, and even with a couple of early deaths, he's still really on track in terms of his item build. I mean, he had the Orchid up at an okay time, and now just heading towards that BKB. NS trying to do what he can, but there's an Observer Wood spotting him out. If they can drag a creep across, he can just lightning bolt it, and then lightning bolt the creep for the true sight, and then get rid of the obs. We'll see if this creep might be close enough. Just give it a sec. Come on, NS, you gotta go for it. You might be able to see the ward. I'm not sure, but they're sitting right on top of a ward right now, so Silent, if he gets caught out, it's his own fault. But just jaunts himself down onto the low ground. And Scandal, now with the tier 2 down, this is at least a little bit a part of the problem. Clinks can just keep putting pressure on the tower, chip away at that tier 3, and it just forces constant TPs back from VP. From this point on, they really cannot contest Roshan, because Empire have got Coddle and they've got a split pushing Clinks. It's just no hope. And the relocate goes into its bot. The Tombstone pops. Santa trying to do what he can. The Zeus ultimate pops as well. Funnick drops low, but just too much move speed away from these zombies. Crazy comes in, gets the reverse polarity off, but it's only for the Wisp. And Blow trying to make his escape. Go Black is here, but he's sitting right on top of a ward. Silent dragged into this fight, looking for the Dream Coil. Can he connect one? KSI sitting on top of the Black Hole, hit by the Dream Coil. The Illusory Orb going to come through as well. He's immediately dead, so not using that just yet. Nice TP away again. Looks like NS making his escape, and Crazy back behind the tower. He is fine right now, but Airman was drawn up towards top to try and deal with this push a little bit, and we didn't see any buybacks in that last fight. And Empire just straight onto the tower. I mean, we saw the reverse polarity used, and VP are heavily dependent on the team fight right now. So Empire using the opportunity perfectly. Though VP Airman does not have the BKB up, so he's a little bit more effective in these fights, but what he's really contending with, more than the magical damage or any of the lockdown, is just the right-click damage from Blow and from Scandal. Keep wanting to call Clinks Funnick, but it's obviously Scandal on the Clinks this time around. So Empire just continue to put the pressure on. They're finding more farm right now. Gold over 10k in their favor right now. They're just being so much more efficient in terms of the use of the map, and over 7.5k the farm lead as well. Go Black caught out a little bit by Airman. It's only a 3-second stun. We'll be able to reality rift him back onto this side of the trees. Doesn't even need to. Santa gets bursted down by Blow. He's immediately on to that Tombstone. Funnick dropping low, but trying to make his escape. He does have a drum, so he's pretty quick. 4-second stun on Scandal. The Phantasm pops. He might be bursted down in this duration. Do they have a Malphus available as well? They don't even need it. The Aegis pops. Dust already used. Blow Your Brain going to work, but there's a nice Black Hole. It's going to catch Scandal right as he respawns as well. Blow trying to make his escape. There's an Infest on a Scandal. He's almost bursted down. Trying to make his escape. Blow as well, just popping out there. Empire throwing heroes at VP just to try and get those carries out, but they actually pick up a few more. And Empire, everybody on such low HP, but it doesn't even matter. And now Crazy off to the side. He's going to drop this gem. Can he break it in time? Looks like he did. So well played by him. Yeah, so he actually managed to break his gem. Oh no, the relocate in. NS is in trouble. Oh, just 3 right clicks is all the Blow Your Brain needs. And just the map awareness from Funnick right now is absolutely ridiculous. Jumping from kill to kill to kill. It's even right now in terms of the actual overall score. But the graphs speak volumes about who's actually ahead. And VP, do they have buybacks available? No, they do not. So it's 20 seconds for most of them. And Empire are going to be a pretty easy barracks picked up here. Very, very easy melee. Barracks, KSI comes forward, but he doesn't have the Black Hole. Could have tried to throw down the Midnight Pulse, but that really would have been his death. I mean, Blow Your Brain has a completed Orchid and a Desolator as well. So he is absolutely shredding everyone right now. So that's 1 Rax down. VP still sort of relying on the defensive team fight right now, but CK is not a carry that you can just sit back and farm and say, okay, well, we're going to be fine late game. Because they're up against the Clinks, they're up against the Nakes, both of which are bursting the Chaos Knight down so quickly. He's got a BKB, but it doesn't matter. He's got 1.8k HP, but also it doesn't matter. He's being absolutely ruined by the Desolator and just the right-click damage from the Clinks. So VP go forward aggressively. They've got the reverse polarity in tow. They've got the Black Hole a minute and a half away, so it's still quite a ways. And Go Black, why is he infested with Nakes? I'm not sure. And now the pop out. Blow immediately heading towards NS. 1 right click does him in. Santa pops out the ultimate, but 3 right clicks is all that Blow needs. Airman going to town, but it's now a buyback from Funnick. The fight a little bit split up. Crazy silence. Scandal getting the right clicks off there. And Airman open wounds on him. That is going to be his death. So Empire, I mean, BKB finished up on Scandal, but it didn't even matter. And VP all on the sidelines for a little while now. There's a buyback available on Santa, but he's only 10 seconds away from respawning. So Empire straight onto this tier 2. The tower just absolutely melting underneath the searing arrows and that Desolator minus armor. VP still 30 seconds away from Airman. Black Hole, 25 seconds. Reverse Polarity still available but unused. Hasn't been able to connect that one. Just Empire's positioning a little bit too strong, and they've got 2 Orchids. He's really not going to be able to get it off. And Orchid is instant as well, so there's something interesting that you can do. And I guess I should mention this as this Rax falls. But what you can do is as a fight is about to break out, if you have sight on the opponent's initiator, then what you do is you walk back a little bit, you click your Orchid or your Hex on the opponent's initiator, and then you walk forward to a line which you yourself have drawn in the sand. If the initiator blinks forward at any time, you will instantly silence them, because Hex and Orchid are both instant, and pretty much every single initiating ability in the game has a cast time. I mean, barring maybe a Rubik with a Stolen Ravage or something like that, but that's even 0.1. So we've got a 2-man Black Hole on Scandal and Go Black. Go Black probably going to fall to Santa here, but blow your brain. He's beyond Godlike. He's in the back of the fight. He is smacking everybody down, and KSI knows it. He's running away. Open wounds up in a few seconds. Airman and Santa standing their ground a little bit, but the Scandal is here. And right clicks there. Double kill for Scandal. Silent chasing down KSI, but GG, well played, going to be called by VP, and with that, Empire take the set, they take the game, they take the set, they take the tournament. Empire coming out on top. So very well played by them, and that's why we're seeing the grats called by VP. So anyway, I'll wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the vault, since it looks like things were nice and stable over on Twitch this time around. A couple more GGs thrown out, just waiting for Crazy to disconnect. But he's about to be smacked down by Blow. So I think he's just going to disconnect off, unless he has a buyback. Which he does, so we'll see if he uses it. No, disconnect off. So final score screen will pop up within the next 30 seconds. As always, I have been Basskip. This was our grand finals of the Premier League. So VP up against Empire for that. Empire coming through the winner bracket. Only 2 games for this setup. So that's pretty much it. As always, I've been your unofficial caster for this match. A reminder that Triumph of Man was TPL's official caster, so if I was laggy or if you don't enjoy my coverage, then you can always check him out. But thanks everyone for tuning in. That's going to conclude it for me for tonight, or I guess I should rather say this morning's Dota 2 broadcasting. I'm going to go get some sleep. I hope you all enjoyed the games. If you have any replays or feedback to send to me, again, anywhere that you see the name Basskip, I check pretty much everywhere. And thanks everyone. I hope to see you in future broadcasts.